there, boys.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good
we're here
morning.
again.
Introduce
It is
yourself.
time to talk antiques once again.
And you are?
I'm Ray Seckler.
Ronnie Branch?
Philip Scoggins.
All right, the gang's all here.
Yeah.
So here we go.
One of us is an antique anyway.
Well, you're not antique. You're only as old as
Getting
you
there.
feel, right? You know? Well, we're going to talk about advertising products this week because they had a big show.
Up in Indianapolis.
And you want to tell them about
Or
that?
Indiana, sorry.
Okay.
Lebanon, in Indiana.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
For those not familiar with the term petrolina, that's the hobby of collecting memorabilia related to the gas, oil, and automotive industries. Nearly 1,500 attendees had the opportunity to browse and buy gas station memorabilia, vintage auto advertising, and oil industry collections at the 2018 Boone County Gas and Oil Show. Part of the Boone County treasure hunt was held in Lebanon the week of May 5th and 6th. So it's a little less than a month ago.
Been nice if that was Lebanon, Tennessee. We could
Yeah,
have
we
went.
would definitely
We'd have
drove
been-
over for that.
We'd have been right there.
Yeah. Attendees had plenty of restored and unrestored gas pumps, gas pump globes, and transportation-related signs to shop, some running into 5 figures. These with smaller budgets could pick up from a plentiful supply of oil cans, road maps, and license plates, along with pedal cars and antique toy vehicles. Merchandise from popular brands like Sinclair, Texaco, and Standard Oil naturally attracted its share of attention, but pieces from lesser-known names and local brands lured diehard collectors. Vendors were in 2 outdoor pavilions and 2 large outside areas. Outside, large items like unrestored gas pumps and trade signs in all conditions were prevalent. Indoor merchandise leaned toward restored items and those with the greatest collector value. Tal Lunken, who runs a salvage yard in Minnesota, had an outside space spread with large items in various states of repair. Among his offerings were 3 gas pumps, a late 1940s Gilbarco, used with shell gas, sold for $1,600. A Wayne 70 pump manufactured in Fort Wayne, Indiana from the late 1930s or early 40s that handled super shell gas priced at $2,200. And an early 1930s Wayne 60 pump branded for pure oil priced at $4,250. So is that how price-wise? You know more about pumps than I do. Is that?
Well, it just depends on the condition of the pump and whether or not it's got a newer globe on it. You know, yeah, how good it's been done. You know, collectors, some of them are really picky about how good the restoration was on the pump.
Okay.
And some of them prefer to buy just older, just rusted out pumps, you know, and do them themselves.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say is.
'Cause if you do enough of them over time, you collect a lot of parts.
Oh.
You know,
sure.
where you replace this, you replace that, and sooner or later you've got boxes and boxes and boxes full of parts, you know.
Okay.
The first thing they usually do is take the pumps out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And those pumps are usually really rusty because I've took some
Oh
out.
yeah, I can imagine.
And they're really heavy.
You know, we may see
And the
the day we
motors.
wish those things were back here if the power ever goes out.
There you go. Gravity fed.
Those
Be
gravity
something
flow
for it.
pumps, yeah. But, yeah, some of these were priced good, and a lot of this stuff was cheap. A lot of this stuff I thought sold really cheap.
Okay.
I
That
never
would
would
have
have
been
thought
a-
of such as this. So, I mean, back in the day, I can remember the old gas pump. Then you go to them now, you know, they're all convenient. There, even television up there before you did anything.
Well,
Yeah.
just
While you
think
feel
if,
it.
if we'd have thought, you know, when we were young and picked up all this stuff they were changing out, because back then they'd give it to you,
Yeah.
Right.
you know.
So have you haul it
Nowadays,
off.
you're paying serious money for it.
But I just always felt like, well, they discarded that, and that's moving on to modernization.
I can't say nothing because back in the 80s, you know, Pepsi was changing. I mean, I worked for Pepsi as a service technician, and we're changing out coolers. There's no telling how many I sent to the scrapyard.
Wow.
I would part them out and get what I thought I could use off of them. They would fit the newer models, and the rest of it we didn't care about.
Sure.
And they would have given me every one of them
Reckon
to
you
haul
go
them
back
on.
and dig them up now?
I wish. They're probably in new cars and
Yeah.
been turned into something else by now.
Okay. Following along, we've got Doug Jenkin had a Standard Oil of Indiana Lubester from the early 1900s, priced at $225. He noted the pumps of that variety are generally used for filling oil bottles or dispensing gear oil. This model was unusual because both the pump and the reservoir were inscribed with the Standard Oil of Indiana name.
And I noticed that the wheels were still on that too.
Yeah.
One of them wasn't. He had the other one, but that's something you don't see. You see a lot of the containers, but you don't see them with the wheels on them.
Well, just to show my
And that thing I thought so cheap, $225.
yeah, well, to show my ignorance, I used to go into the Jiffy Burger before I really knew David or anybody.
Yeah.
And I'd go in there and see all them old rusted looking toys and stuff. And I thought, what in the world, can't David afford new ones?
You think he's out of his mind for
Oh,
putting
yeah.
that junk in there?
You don't.
That
So that's-
stuff was worth a lot. Hey, back then now, on them old cars, the price was really up on them. They're worth a lot more than they are now.
Oh, yeah, I know, but
And they're
that's
still
how
worth good money.
dumb I was to the fact of what this stuff is.
And
how valuable.
the good ones always bring good money.
Yeah, I didn't realize what all the collection was on the walls either. So
I get amazed every show
impressive.
we do. It's something I wouldn't have
Yeah.
thought of that we come up with
Sure.
again.
There's no telling how many old barns and
Yeah.
buildings and houses me and David rummaged through to find that old stuff. And some stuff we dig up, just take off buildings or dig up out of the ground even. There was some signs laying in a field one time. They were on a barn, but some of them had blowed
Yeah.
off. We go dig them out of the weeds.
Yeah.
You know,
We've got a
anything
lot
to
of
hit 'em.
fellows that does that metal detecting.
Yeah,
That come into Hardee's in the mornings, and they'll all sit around and talk about what they found last week or
Oh.
These just had
tell
like
their stories.
grass growed over them
Yeah.
and been there a long time.
Belt buckles from the Civil
Had to
War, all
fight to
kinds
get
of
'em
stuff
out.
like that.
Yeah. Well, we do anything to get a piece.
I
It
believe
didn't
it.
matter what he took. If we liked it, we go after it.
We've got a guy who had a set of 5 chrome hubcaps for 1947 to 1953 model years of Chevrolet pickup trucks. So they're not even matching sets. He's just got 5 of them,
No, and them old hubcaps are getting
and
hard
they
to
were
find,
priced
too.
at $90 each. So yeah, that's what
Yeah,
you think
I can
about.
remember the old moon disc type boy.
Yeah, the real, you can get reproductions all day
Yeah.
long, but a good set of old ones, there's no
pay for
telling
them.
where you'd have to go
Yeah.
through to get them.
If you're restoring a car, you gotta get the original,
Exactly.
You gotta have
all
it.
of that. So that's something you wouldn't thought of at the time. Yeah. Steve and Cindy Rosentrader, collectors from Illinois, carried mainly small things. Their offerings included a 1950s tire flatter tire pump gauge that hailed from a shop in New York City. The unit was in excellent condition and priced at $1,100. Next to it sat a 1950s parking meter with its keys and also in excellent condition, priced at $525. The meter featured a novel indicator, which is a red ball would pop up at the top when the time was expired, making it easy for the meter reader to see. One of the new people at the show was antique shop owner Jim Tindra, who had a multiple space shop with a variety of vintage garage and shop pieces, including a 2-foot square building thermometer from an American station priced at $450. And for $800, a buyer could snag a Michelin Man doorstop, originally used at tire stores to hold doors open for ventilation, pre-air conditioning era.
That was something that I thought was unique, was the doorstop, because
Hey.
you see the big Michelin Man.
Yeah, this is this little Michelin Man doorstop,
But you
$800.
don't see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because, people would snatch them up, take them home.
Yeah, and it's not even in great shape. It's a used doorstop Michelin
Yeah.
Man. Is it? So, let's see, where's that? Jeff Linhart brought his passion for transportation-related toys to the show. Jeff started selling when he was 10, and at one time owned an auction house. Today he concentrates on shows, including his first round at the Boone County Show. His booth was brimming with stamped steel vehicles from various decades. A Mark stake body struck for truck for $100, a Marks ambulance for $100, a Metalcraft Esso branded stake body truck for $400, and a Metalcraft Pure Oil fuel truck for $400. A prize piece was a 1965 Nihilist U-Haul set, complete with 2 trailers. So that's a U-Haul toy set. That's yeah, it's got a unique. He also featured a wood handle built Jim's Garage, complete with gas, oil, and tire pumps for $175.
Yeah, now that's what I would like, is something somebody made themselves.
Yeah, I've seen lots of stuff, and I find that hard to gauge a price. It's just what somebody's willing to give, I guess.
That's
point.
exactly what it is. It's what they're willing to pay. It's how much somebody wants it.
All right.
So with that, are we going to a break, Tiffany?
We are going to a break.
All right, we'll be right back.
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, and I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
All right, we're back, and Max brought us back in a big way, as he always does.
He always does that
Yeah,
stuff. You know
Max
what?
is all right. He's good. He's cool.
Yeah, he likes doing it.
Yeah.
He likes doing
He's
that.
got it going on.
Yeah.
All right, let's go along with this. Okay, as with gas pumps, there was no shortage of oil cans at the show. Skip Rodman from Lebanon, Indiana, had among the most extensive offerings. He's been a collector for more than 30 years and has amassed more than 1,000 cans, literally trailers full of them. Some of his more unusual pieces included a Texaco outboard gear oil can from $100, a never opened can of Texaco outboard motor oil priced at $150, an Archer snowmobile oil can at $115, and a Duplex outboard motor oil can for $75. Man.
Yeah. Now I'm telling you, those oil cans are getting really expensive.
They are.
And you know, they're getting harder to find, and it's really hard to find one that's full of oil.
Yeah, that's pretty,
You know, 'cause
pretty surprising.
You know, to get those, you got to have like new old stock.
Yeah.
You know, or somebody that has a can left over in a barn or something, somebody cleaned out. But I mean, they're still out there. But when you find one that's full, if it's, you know, Depending on brands, you got some money.
Yeah. And
So- With that, you've got some signs pulled up, or
I've got
what have you got
a
there?
Petrolina search
Alright.
came up with
So you're
some,
going to give us a little
some stuff on
smorgasbord.
that. Kind of, yeah, an overall of it. When we narrow it down, we get a little higher prices. But I got a Petrolina gas pump. It's a Fry 5-gallon visible May West style pump. And that went for $5,000 as to buy it now. Next, I have a 30-inch Gulf dealer porcelain sign from Pittsburgh. It went, well, they were asking $900 and took a best offer, probably somewhere close to that. A vintage antique car Packard advertising thermometer. So this would be it's a Packard car, a really old Packard car with a thermometer across the top of it. They were asking $1,000 and got more than $600 for it.
I see a lot of Packard stuff now, so
Really?
that's getting to be a pretty hot item.
I got a vintage Topco gasoline pole sign thermometer. Went for $556 after 30 bids. Man, this is just like one of the branded thermometers that you would have stuck up on your office wall. Kind of
Well,
thing,
you know,
yeah.
they would take those old thermometers. A lot of times, most of them would go outside, and they get weathered, because you won't know what the outdoor temperature is, and they'd be rusty, so
Well, this
you
looks-
find a good working thermometer, it usually brings pretty good money.
Got a vintage Globe Seal motor oil sign from Cleveland Gas. 23 bids for that, went for $461.
And what brand was that again?
A Globe Seal.
Globe Seal.
Yeah, I've never heard of them before.
I hadn't either. That's probably one of those local
Yeah,
brands.
might be the
You know,
Cleveland thing.
that, those area companies, it usually bring more money in the area that you're in.
Yeah.
You sell them local, buy them local, sell local. Just like everything else.
Here's a vintage antifreeze can, 5-gallon Thermo brand from 1945. 38 bids on that, $307.
Like somebody wanted it.
Yeah, so here's a Atlantic High Arc gasoline station gas pump sign from Philadelphia. They were asking $400 and got at least $300 on that. There's another one of those thermometers, the APCO thermometer. Was it? It doesn't say what it's made of. It looks like plastic though.
Yeah, like everything else, person's got to be careful when you buy those thermometers and those signs because there's a lot of reproductions out there.
25 bids for that, $293.
Yeah, it's like David was telling us that time, coming from India.
Yeah.
There's lots of them. They're
Hey,
big
them
over
people
there.
From over there, something else, aren't they?
Oh, well, it's like you said,
Are they too lazy to work?
they
or-
bought all those old dyes and stuff.
Yeah.
And, they just press them out and
Yeah,
ship
they're
them
making
over
them
here.
new. Yeah, yeah.
They have them call me all the time, tell me about my credit card, but yet they don't know which company I'm using.
Yeah.
Here's a
I usually stayed in their resorts, and I hardly ever go anywhere overnight.
here's a 1960 Sinclair Oil calendar for Huge, Brown, and Bigelow is the company, the business that paid for 35 bids, $207 for a calendar.
Good money for that calendar.
Yeah.
Those advertising calendars, you don't think. A lot of people would tear the month off the calendar, when that month was
Right.
up.
Yep.
And who thought to save those calendars?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
there's a lot of them out there, but when you get a good one,
Maybe they just where they didn't give them all out, and you've got a case
yeah,
somewhere.
now that would be
that's-
good to run up on.
Yeah, that seems like you'd be more likely to find them all in one piece, like
Yeah.
if you're doing that. So, here's a National Motor Oil can. Gosh, 9 bids on it, went for $152.50. 10-inch sign letters for a vintage sign, $132.
Now those are what now?
10-inch tall.
So to
letters.
change
Yeah,
the letters
change the
out.
letters on,
Are they
on the
metal?
sign.
You know, you
I'd
see
have
a
to
lot
look.
of plastic ones nowadays. I wonder if they did that with metal.
I don't know. Let's see if they can tell us what it is. It doesn't say.
Don't say, does it? They just look like it in the picture.
Lettering for your advertising gas station sign. Okay.
And about what you see nowadays is all plastic, and most of them are getting to be digital because
True.
they've got too lazy to change them. But no, really, not that. But the digital ones are a lot better.
Yeah.
They can change them quick,
I
fast.
like
They can type it
digital
in.
better.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
You can put pictures on there. I love those signs, and they're getting more sophisticated all the time.
Oh yeah.
Got a 1927 rocker oil can with a flying A. It went for well, they were asking $140. I got right next to that. It was a Pendrake racing oil can. $132 after 21 bids. So
And for a can of oil,
for a can of oil, you have 21 people, and it's opened. I can see the top where
Probably
they,
no oil
where they
in
opened it. Yeah. 1960 Shell Oil Company. It's a box that says viable manifestations.
I don't know.
I have no idea. It's just it's a sign. 3 bids at $107.
I've never run up on any viable manifestations
No,
that I can remember.
what kind of advertising plan that was. I don't think it stuck around for very long.
I don't either.
Here's a lighted Texaco sign. Olivia's Texaco Fire Chief Gasoline in Cudahy, Wisconsin. $90 was the buy now on that one. I think
Well, I tell you what, I've got a vintage double-sided. This was an El Chico from a restaurant
Okay.
sign, but I mean it's crated up. It looks good. It's neon. There was 32 bids on it. Brought $3,250.
Wow.
Wow.
I got a double-sided Mopar Chrysler Plymouth Dodge. It says gas and oil. It's a 24-inch flange, so you know they'd mount it to the wall, and it's
Right.
you know. And they brought $2,750 with 35 bids. I guess people be interested to know what that's worth. That Mopar.
You know, speaking of El Chico, I hadn't heard that in a long time. Are they still in business?
You know, I was looking at a story online a couple weeks back about restaurant chains that we've lost, and seems like I saw that one on there. There were maybe 1 or 2 left in the country, or some of them there wasn't any left. They'd been absorbed by other businesses or just went out. But you know, we've lost a lot. They remember the old Howard Johnsons?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
See them no more.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I've got a Du Bois Beer Bar Tavern gas and oil sign. This is 42-inch sign, so it's about 4 foot long. It's metal. Brought $2,627 with 23 bids. And then I have a Sunco oil. Now this is one that I haven't seen. And I see a lot of Suncos, but this one's got Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck on it. And it says keeps motors knockless. It says oils often cause knocks, but their oil keeps it knockless. And then they got Mickey and Donald look like they're riding a trailer made out of a mailbox. And I think that's Goofy in there with them. Anyway, brought $2,024 with 70 bids. Wow. I tell you, people were wanting that one. You don't see a lot of them. Now I got my Massey Ferguson, world's famous farm equipment. Brought $2,000 with 40 bids.
Wow, that's a lot for a Massey Ferguson
telling you.
sign. Yeah.
It's a 1968 sign, and it's 40 inches. It's not hardly 4 foot.
It's pretty big.
about 3.5 feet, something like that, a little over, no, a little under. Then I have a 1930s beech nut chewing tobacco, and then it says gas oil, 46 inch. Now, this is a porcelain sign here. It brought $1,825 with 50 bids.
Wow.
So they were all over that one too. Beech nut chewing tobacco. I wonder, I don't see gas and oil on it.
Yeah, no, I don't
They
know.
just
Maybe
they just put that in their ad so
Yeah.
people would pull it up.
Okay.
Ronnie, are you actually familiar with the signs? And because we talked about metal signs and then porcelain signs. So when you're saying porcelain signs, I'm thinking, oh, it's real fragile, like a teacup.
Porcelain is a coating that they use. They would heat that metal, and they would apply layers of that porcelain on it to keep it from rusting. So that's what those are. And
But so it's not like a teacup where you have to.
no,
Oh, it's so gentle.
No,
Be
it's
careful.
not gentle. Period. They're actually really tough. And people you get holes in them, but they shoot holes in them, because these things
See
were
the
made to.
signs on the road if you notice.
We're not recommending you're shooting holes in any signs, people.
No.
Go to the shooting range.
Yeah.
But porcelain signs that were actually took care of really have held up well.
No drive-by shootings, in other
That
words.
being my point there. But
I think in law enforcement would frown upon you
Yes.
shooting signs around town.
yeah,
Probably so.
we're just the plain metal ones would rust. The ones coated with the porcelain enamel would hold up really well.
All right, we're heading to a break, guys.
All right.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, and I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
All right, folks, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques.
All right, while we were gone, we've been sitting here obsessing over these Howard Johnsons.
Yeah.
Phillips.
We whittled it down to the last Howard Johnson's closed.
May the 2nd of this month.
Yeah, I was going to say closed.
This month of this
yeah.
year. The last remaining one. So that answers our question. There are none left open right now. But Philip has found us a lot of good stuff you can buy out of some of them that have closed.
It's bringing some good money, but it's not crazy money. Here's a 1958 Howard Johnson restaurant soda fountain. It's the 7-piece mirror set that goes behind it that says Howard Johnson's ice cream on it, and spread out over all the mirrors. And $550, which seems like a pretty decent deal for that, other than having to
Be nice to
process
find the
and
ice cream
move
case
it.
in Bar that went with
There
that,
you
wouldn't
go.
it?
Exactly. And here's a Windross original Austin Archives. It's a 1966 Howard Johnson's display rack prototype of a Howard Johnson's truck,
Oh, wow.
semi-truck.
A prototype.
It's got a price tag on it, original of $1.98, and after 18 bids, it's sold for $407.
Wow.
Yeah, so somebody knew something.
Yeah.
Here's a okay, so here's the Howard Johnson Restaurant Cooks flip recipe book. So it's for the the instant recipes for the cooks. 14 bids for that, $268. There's some nostalgic people that probably used to be cooks at Howard Johnson.
Well, yeah, of course.
Here is a Howard Johnson's Restaurant Sweet City ice cream dessert recipe flip book. So this is just the desserts. 9 bids on that went for $268.
Now you
And these are
gotta,
very used, by the way. Those are very used.
you gotta think in its day, Howard Johnson's was huge. They had motor lodges, the little motels, the restaurants.
Yeah,
You
they was a big business.
They really were. And the ice cream, Philip was talking about the ice cream. They had, I see 28 flavors.
They were the original person to have a whole lot of flavors, and
Yeah.
that was what I remember when I was a little kid. When we were traveling, stopping at a Howard Johnson's to eat on the way to Florida, and my mom about the ice cream.
And you wanted to try
her,
every flavor,
that was her
didn't
thing.
you?
Was I remember it with that she liked the ice cream, and of course I did too.
Yeah, I can eat about a gallon and a half a week of ice cream. I love ice cream. I like it with potato chips in it.
Oh.
I like it with cookies in it.
Well, I like the cookie.
I crumble chocolate chip cookies up in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I love
Sound
it.
good.
Here's a unique one. Is a Howard Johnson's chrome pub table. So it's with I guess it's a Howard Johnson's table that you would stand next to or have a high bar stool, and it's round. It's a button shaped on top that says Howard Johnson. Really nice. It only went for $229 as a
Kind of like those
with
little
a buy it
crystals
now.
and Wendy's tables,
Yeah.
you know.
Most of them were real neat looking all the time, too. You never did really see them trashed out much. I never did.
I don't remember that much about it.
There's got to be tons of that Howard Johnson stuff out there
Yeah,
somewhere.
you think there should be a lot. Here's a lot of unique stuff. Howard Johnson's Girl Waitress Training vinyl album. There's 2 albums in it, so it's before they had training videos, they had training albums for people.
That had to be exciting.
It was probably very exciting listening.
Yeah.
9 bids, $127.50.
So the videos were just a variation on a theme.
There you go.
Kind of like everything else nowadays.
Moving on up.
They'll do it. They'll do it with an album, then a cassette, then a VHS, then a CD, and then a MP3. You just keep on
It's kind
recycling
of
it.
like a smartphone. You have to get that video before you can really learn how to operate the silly thing.
They just keep recycling that
But it's
technology.
smarter than me.
Yeah.
So what else we got? Phil?
Here's a Howard Johnson Zippo lighter, double-sided print on it. It says it's unlit, from 1958 with the box.
Now, and it's a Zippo too.
Yeah,
So that's probably cheap for that lighter.
22 bids, $128.50. That's a pretty good bid for a lighter that it's somebody stuck in their drawer and didn't smoke and stuck it
Yeah.
in the drawer, and
Them
the
old
kids got it
Zippos
60, 70 years later to sell.
bring a little money anyway, and advertising one brings a little more.
Here's a vintage Howard Johnson syrup advertising tin can. So this is Howard Johnson's famous New England syrup can. So like for the grocery store or something, I guess you buy it there. And they were wanting $160, and they got a little over $100 for it. And here's a pretty nice. It is a vintage Howard Johnson's restaurant. It's a child's toy wood puzzle.
Okay.
And it's got a Howard. It's like a 6-piece
They sit down
wooden
for the
puzzle
kids to
kind of
play
thing.
with.
Yeah, And it's got a
Keep
scene
them
of
occupied.
Howard Johnson's chef giving a kid a plate full of pancakes. There you go. Let's see. Here's a 1962 Printer's Archives salesman sample box of Howard Johnson's fried clams.
Fried clams.
So, yeah, apparently they were pretty famous for their fried clams.
And they put them in supermarkets,
So,
you think?
well, I'm not sure if it's that or it's
I don't
just an
remember.
advertising.
Their clams?
Yeah, to advertise the clams.
Yeah.
Here's your Howard Johnson's 5 Howard Johnson plates from the restaurant from the 1950s. $90 for five plates from the restaurant. Man,
You know, in the late 20s, the original Howard Johnson, he had a bunch of concession stands on the beaches. You know, they sold soft drinks, hot dogs, ice cream, and all of them made money. I mean, ain't that amazing?
for a while.
Yeah.
Up until recently. I
And
guess,
then it said that
yeah.
after that he convinced local bankers to lend him enough money to open, a restaurant. And in 1929 they opened the first one.
1929.
Hmm?
I don't
They've
see
been around
anything.
a long time.
I don't
Oh, a
see
long
anything
time.
older than the 50s on here, so people are holding on to their really old Howard Johnson
Well,
stuff.
if you think,
But it might not have been that
And
much branded stuff
that's
ba-
what I was
to
going to
start
say.
with, too.
And
Yeah.
him just starting out in the 20s and 30s, probably took him a while to get that
Mm-hmm.
sophisticated.
Here's it's a mini teapot with the Howard Johnson's logo on the side of it. $90 after 14 bids. And here's the best thing is the little tin that you would put your coffee creamer in.
Yeah.
And they would bring it out to your table for you. $100.
That was probably back when you got real coffee cream.
Right, when they bring it around for you fresh and just from table to table.
And that pot is probably what they served it out of it.
Yeah.
I'd say that came out of a restaurant.
Yeah, I'd say somebody
Sugar
just took
bowls,
that
too.
home. Yeah.
One of the employees or somebody bought it out of a warehouse.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Here's 2 soup bowls with the logo on the side of it. 22 bids for 2 soup bowls.
They were
Went
all
up to
over them soup
$76. Man, people have some fond memories of,
And how much
of
did
Howard
that,
Johnson.
Hey, how much did that bench there bring?
Oh,
That little stool down there.
the stool is Howard Johnson's swivel bar stool. $80.
You need a couple of them to go with your little table
There
you
you
had
go.
up there.
That was only about $200 too. That seemed like a
Yeah.
pretty good deal too. All right. Here's a Howard Johnson restaurant diner kitchen advertising neon wall clock. So one of those neon wall clocks with Howard Johnson's on it. They wanted $78, but had to take a best offer. But it was the next one's $75, so it was pretty.
That was
pretty
probably
close to it.
60s or 70s.
Howard Johnson's ice cream flavors advertising sign bars.
Oh, wow.
So these are just what they would put in front of the
Now that's
the
what
flavors
you,
of
that's
the
what
ice
you
cream.
need to put on your table at home for the kids.
There you go. It's $50 for those, and it's like orange, pineapple, peach, mocha chip, banana, raspberry. So just those little tag bars of the flavors of ice cream got $50.
Do you remember what your favorite flavor was?
Oh, I don't. I just vaguely remember going into one.
You were real little.
Yeah, I was
Becky
real
and
little.
Jeff took me to a place like that in Nashville.
Yeah.
Not too long ago. Well, it'd been a few months back. But I'm telling you what, they had every kind of ice cream you can imagine. And
Yeah.
things I thought would sound awful was supposed to be good.
Well,
Everybody was eating it anyway.
speaking of Becky, is her concert this weekend?
Yes, it's this Saturday night. I believe it is.
Yeah, it's 7:30.
In Woodbury.
Birdsong Studios.
Right, Robin
And
Taylor's.
Folks, we'd like for everybody that can to go out and see Becky in concert. 'Cause I'll tell you, you'll be well satisfied.
You'll
with
be
what you
really
see.
entertained,
Yes.
and the tickets are cheap enough. Tickets are cheap enough.
And that's the place that they're performing is where she shot her last music video.
Yes,
speaking to
I'd
that
forgotten
mountain.
that. She sure said
So
that.
yeah,
So you can get your little souvenir before she gets really big.
I got a souvenir from her before she ever got big. And,
Yeah.
well, she was already good, but I
Yeah.
mean, she very, deserving successful.
Well, you know, if you put real talent in front of the right person, they're going to
Yeah.
do good. That's a lot of them's problem is, you know, there's a lot of talented people out there. I mean, really good, but they never get the right
You know, I was
exposure.
watching some old videos last night at home of Marty Stewart when he was just a kid with Dad and them.
Hmm?
That boy could play a mandolin, he could play a fiddle, he could play a guitar. I don't think there's nothing but strings the boy can't do.
Yeah.
I mean, he just makes them talk.
Oh yeah.
Well, look how long he's been doing it.
I know, but how did he get it that talented at that young age
He
like
worked.
that?
He worked.
Hey, they must have took him to kindergarten and nothing else but
That's
lesson.
You've got to think. Becky teaches lessons 2 days a week in Manchester, and that
Exactly.
is.
And see, she's
that
a
is
busy girl.
great-
Wow, man, I couldn't even
Great
carry her
thing.
guitar for her.
I'm trying to talk my kids into wanting to learn to play mandolin so that I can,
Oh, yeah.
while she's still giving lessons,
Oh, that
take
would be
advantage
good.
of that. That'd be good.
I always wanted to learn a mandolin. I never did either. but
It's tuned different from a guitar, so
Oh, tell me.
it's hard enough for me to play guitar.
And them double
You move all the
strings.
strings around, and it's really.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't want the job of putting new strings on them, ever,
I got me a little crank that would just spin
Yeah.
them on there.
but it's still a job.
All right. Well, with that, I guess we take our last commercial break, and we'll come back and finish up the show.
All right.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, and I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, folks, we're back, but let's talk antiques.
All right, now we're going to jump right back in it. We don't have a lot of time left, and we want to talk to you about some of these pressed steel toys.
Yeah, I was searching for actually trucks. I've got a 1920s Buddy L pressed steel fire truck with a water tower attachment on it. The buy it now was $2,500.
That Buddy L stuff brings good money, and Buddy L was a really big company in the day. And they make good trucks. And Structos and a lot of good
A
ones.
really old-looking Buddy L pressed steel toy oil truck, and it's an oil tanker with Firestone tires. 17 bids on that went for $2,200.
That brought a little more because it actually had the tank with it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, the tanks are missing.
A rare 19-piece collection of Girard USA pressed steel trucks, tanker, fire engine, cars, 1930s. 35 bids for that collection there. It went for $1,825.
That was probably a good buy.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, coming up with $1,800 for toys now, that's...
Well, you know, I can't say nothing. I've spent more than that on them.
Yeah, my time's a little harder than that.
Here's a 1920s Buddy L a wrecker tow truck, original attic find, large pressed steel. The buy it now was $1,650, and they got that. So, you want to give us some coolers?
Yeah, let's jump back and forth there since we don't have much time. Let me. There's others on here, but we want to stick with these coolers that you like. The picnic coolers is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I've got a 1950s Coca-Cola. Now this one's stainless steel, and which is a little different.
You'd assume, yeah.
$331. But now I don't think that's a real one. It says vintage retro antique, so it may be a 50 style.
Oh, okay.
But it's still, that's big money. And now here's a real Coca-Cola cooler. An ice chest, brought $275. Doesn't say what size it was. And this one's even older than that one. Here's a Pepsi Cola. This is an airline cooler. And, you know, so it's got the little opener there.
Yeah.
That's when they had caps on the bottles, you know,
Right,
you had to have an opener. Brought $329. I've got a Stotts beer picnic camping cooler. Brought $260. I've got a Schlitz at the house. Here's Dr. Pepper 50s cooler. Now this is a real one.
Pretty cool, yeah.
And it's all metal. You know, this old metal held the temperature in really good. $250. Now here's a good looking one. Coca-Cola cooler. It's just a small, looks like a 6-pack cooler or something. $247. And I have a little larger than that Pepsi Cola cooler. This is in really good shape.
Really nice shape, yeah.
$250. Notice these, I got the little plugs on the bottom of them.
Right, yeah.
To drain the water, because them things were heavy. Couldn't just put them up, you know, when they was full. Couldn't just
Full
pick
of
them
water
up
and
and flip them real
yeah.
easy.
Melted ice.
Here's a newer one, because I've noticed it's plastic. Pepsi Cola cooler, $265. There's a lot of these coolers sitting around out there. Are we done?
We're getting dangerously close to the edge.
Rocky, you got anything you
You
want
don't want to fall over.
No, I'm good. Let's say I'd remind everybody to go out and see Becky Buller this weekend.
Yes.
And
Yes.
tell her we said hi. She's great.
She's a sweetheart.
You
Manchester sweetheart. I agree.
Yes,
Cute as a
she-
button-neck girl, right?
Yeah.
She's ready.